Hey, thanks for clicking on one of our videos. If you're a Baylor fan, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell if you want to join us for a live stream soon. This is Please Bear With Me. Enjoy. Are fans overrating, underrating, or properly rating Sawyer Robertson? And I know I played into that a little bit, getting him into this March Madness bracket, for which Terrance has already given me quite a bit of grief.
It's too early. It's too early. It's too early.
Thank you, Shehan.
But here's what I'll say, right? I think that fans are properly rating him. And I think that when you look across the Big 12 right now, Sam Leavitt is really, really good. I think that he probably is the favorite to be the number one QB in the Big 12 in 25. I don't see any reason why Sawyer Robertson wouldn't be right there with him. When you look at some of these advanced stats, right, like ESPN's QBR, he's number one among returning quarterbacks in college football in 2025. When you look at PFF grades, things like that, like he rates as highly. EPA, I believe he was top 5 nationally in returning quarterbacks. Like he's played at a level that really almost nobody in college football has played at consistently. I think he is going to be in that, not necessarily at the very top of the top group, but he's going to be right there. He belongs maybe half a step behind the Garrett Nussmeyers, the Cade Klubniks, etc. And so, look, I mean, it's high expectations, but that's what we saw from him in the second half of the year. Even in that game against LSU, where obviously Baylor struggled in a lot of ways, like he was playing big time football. And I think that is really good, Terrance, that you mentioned it too, right? Like the wide receiver room was very serviceable in 2024, but like, Josh Cameron was a tremendous down-to-down player. Mm-hmm. Where's the explosiveness, right? Where's the big-time play coming from? I think that getting Ashton Hawkins back helps that a lot, but I think that some of this step is going to be incumbent on some of the guys around him also stepping up and being big-time players. But I mean, look, I think that Baylor fans look around and are like, why is Sawyer not the clear preseason all Big 12 quarterbacks? Why is he not in? And I mean, like, he still probably has half a step to take, and I think that Leavitt, just because of what happened last year, deserves that spot. But like, there's no reason that he shouldn't be right there.
Well, this is how I view it. I think Robertson needed Spavital more than Spavital needed Robertson. I think he gave him a level of confidence in the play to just go out there and play free ball. Obviously, his offense fits Robertson a lot better than the previous quarterback, but there were clear things that I saw throughout the year where, you're just like, man, Robertson can make that throw, and he has to make that throw for us to convert on big plays. I know everyone knows this, but that BYU game, I thought we had a big shot late there in the game and just was steps out of reach from us catching a ball, and then we play defense and win that game because our defense played, outstanding the second half. I don't know where that comes from. A lot of the concepts that they ran, they stayed true through the rest of the back half of the season. And so I will be interested to see what new concepts come into play in 2025 with the second year at helm for Jake Spavital.
I do agree. I think Baylor fans are rating him okay. I think the nation is still underrating him just a little bit. And I think to Terrance's point, I think what a lot of us are doing is just kind of banking on, we saw so much improvement from the Sawyer Robertson we saw at the beginning of 23 when he had to kind of pinch hit for Blake Shapen early on in the season, to what we saw in early 24 and what we saw at the end of 24. I think we were like, my God, this is a totally different quarterback. And now you talk about the importance of Jake Spavital. Now you get a whole offseason where Sawyer Robertson's the starter. He hasn't had that since high school. He hasn't won a quarterback battle his whole career in college, which is crazy to think after what we saw, during this 24 season. So I think that is a difference of, you get this whole spring and summer where you are the guy. Walker White will absolutely give you some competition, right? I mean, the guy, his athleticism jumps off the page. He was a 4-star guy in high school. It's not like he'll just be sitting easy as the only quarterback on the roster, but to just have that where he's got the keys to the castle, keys to the car all season long. He does need some more out of that wide receiver room. I thought he made some of the wide receivers better from what we saw in the first couple games to what we saw at the end of the season. But I think that's what Baylor fans are really banking on, of, no steps backwards here, so to speak, because you walk into the gauntlet the first 2 weeks of the season.
Great words for. Oh, go ahead, Terrance.
I want to revisit a point about development. So he's had the opportunity to develop both at Mississippi State and now here. And that definitely helps you when you sit in the program. You look at all the great quarterbacks that played at Baylor over the last 15 years. They sat behind people outside of Robert Griffin, which is hard to put anybody in front of him. But everyone else sat behind people for a couple years, and then they had their start. And even though they knew college football well, they still had an adjustment period.